Hey guys, Levelcap here, and welcome to another episode of This Week in Gaming. Now, this week we got our first look at the future of Battlefield 1, with the next Battlefield game about 7 months away, and Battlefield 1's final DLC having been released. Many players are worried that Battlefield 1 wouldn't get any significant updates in the future. Fortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case. DICE has brought the PC CTE back online with a new patch that adds 8 new weapon variants and makes several changes to Volga River operations. Of all the new variants, the most exciting addition is the M1917 Enfield Silenced Sniper Rifle. It's the first suppressed rifle in Battlefield 1 and should satisfy scout players that have been itching for a stealth option since the game's launch. If you want a full breakdown of all the new variants, be sure to check out my in-depth video on the CTE update. And although there is only a small team of developers continuing to work on Battlefield 1, it is still nice to see DICE adding more content to the game and continuing the core experience of BF1. An update to the competitive incursions mode is also expected soon, and although the mode hasn't proven to be particularly popular among Battlefield players, it could lead to a more fleshed out and interesting competitive mode for the next Battlefield game. As for the next Battlefield, another supposed leak dropped this week. It's an image of the banner for EA Play showing the Battlefield 5 logo from the leaked title screen that made its way online a couple weeks ago. Much like that leak, the new leak should be taken with a grain of salt. Speculation has run rampant, with literally nothing being substantiated yet. The overwhelmingly negative reaction to Battlefront 2's Loot Crate system clearly rattled EA and made the game's future support questionable. Fortunately for fans of the game and franchise, DICE are continuing to improve the game's less enjoyable elements. A new progression system that removes star cards and the game's primary upgrade system from random loot crates is dropping on the 21st. Once the new system is implemented, players will be able to purchase star cards using experience points earned through gameplay. Loot crates will still be in the game, but they only contain credits, emotes, and other cosmetic items. Character skins still won't drop in loot crates, but players will be able to purchase them in-game using crystals or credits starting in April. The latest patch for PUBG has made its way to the live servers, and the game now has less input lag overall. The FPS on Erangel should be improved for players thanks to building optimizations made throughout the map. PUBG now features its own friend list that operates independently from the built-in Steam system. A player emote system has been added with 12 default options. Weapon scopes have been updated to be more realistic, with the 2x scope in particular getting a significant improvement over the previous version. Many bugs were also addressed in this patch. On console, PUBG has surpassed 5 million users. As a reward for this milestone, all players will be given a cosmetic item if they create a character before the 22nd. Fortnite also got an interesting update this week. Version 3.3 adds remote explosives and a supply llama. Only 3 supply llamas spawn per game. They contain mostly resources and ammo. Remote explosives work like C4 or satchel charges in other games, sticking to surfaces and allowing players to detonate them at will. How they'll mix up the balance of Fortnite remains to be seen, but they generally end up being heavily exploited in other games for cheap kills. We'll have to see what happens in Fortnite. Epic Games is planning an event for E3 called Party Royale that will feature 50 celebrities facing off against 50 other pro players. Both Fortnite and PUBG are making their way to mobile devices around the world. One of PUBG's Chinese mobile games is now available for Canadian Android users. Fortnite's mobile version is currently an invite-only iOS game that will be making its way to a wide release soon. It's kind of crazy to think that the 2 biggest games in the world right now are making their way to the mobile market. It just proves that no matter how big your game is, if it's not on mobile, you're missing out on probably one of the biggest gaming markets in the world. A new Battle Royale survival game recently made its way to the Xbox Game Preview program. After its initial release on Steam Early Access at the start of the month, the Darwin Project borrows mechanics from games like PUBG and Fortnite, but throws in crafting, more emphasis on traps, and limits your weapon options to a bow with different arrow types. The game supports 10-player matches with an 11th slot for a game director that can hand out buffs, drop crafting items, and more. It's an interesting take on the genre and one that seems to be built for a fun live spectating experience like Twitch. There's another game that loosely falls into the Battle Royale category being worked on by ex-Halo and Battlefield developers. Midwinter Entertainment is a new studio led by former 343 Industries studio head Josh Holmes. Their first game will be Scavengers. Inspired by Halo 5's Warzone mode, players will work together, fighting off other players and AI enemies. What makes Scavengers unique is the game can utilize multiple servers for each instance of a match. This gives the devs a lot more horsepower to run AI and environmental elements. Instead of dumb, zombie-like enemies you see in most multiplayer games, Scavengers AI can be more dynamic and complex. The same or similar style technology is also being used in the upcoming Battle Royale game Mavericks. We'll really have to see what this multi-server tech can do for the future of multiplayer gaming. Rumors about a possible Battle Royale mode for the upcoming Call of Duty Black Ops 4 started circulating this week after an investment firm working with Activision made it clear that Activision is very aware of the Battle Royale genre, going as far to say that Activision reminded its investors that the company is a faster follower. COD titles have always featured some sort of free-for-all multiplayer game mode, with many titles offering unique twists on it like Gun Game. It would make sense to see Battle Royale elements in Black Ops 4, but to what extent is pure speculation at this point. I would find it hard to believe that they would expand beyond the somewhat small maps that are currently in the game, so I'm thinking large Battle Royale format is probably out of the question. Ghost Recon Wildlands PvP mode got an update with 2 new maps and 3 new classes this week. Season Pass and Ghost War Pass owners get early access to the new classes, with all players being able to earn them via in-game progression. The next big update for the PvP mode is scheduled to release in April and will combine 2 planned updates into one. Overwatch's newest hero, Brigitte, will be playable next week. She's a support medic that has been compared to Lucio in how her healing abilities work. Overall, it sounds like players are excited to have her in the retail game based on their experience with her in the PTR. The next Tomb Raider game has been announced in a short teaser trailer. Called Shadow of the Tomb Raider, it looks like the series is heading to Central or South America, with Mayan pyramids being featured throughout the trailer. A full reveal is set for April 27th, with the game's scheduled release on September 14th of this year. It will be the finale to the recent series of Tomb Raider games. Bethesda is rolling out Skyrim on yet another platform. Skyrim VR will launch on April 3rd for Steam VR. It won't include mod support at launch, but will be the first Bethesda VR title to officially work with the Oculus Rift. In our final story this week, Twitch Prime is getting a significant update. It'll now include free games every month. Twitch Prime has included free games here and there, in addition to its random loot like Overwatch crates and PUBG skins, but they're now a guaranteed staple of the program. This month's list of free games includes Superhot, among others. Anyway, that wraps it up for today's episode of This Week in Gaming. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for next week's episode, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.